By the time an Australian child turns 13, there are more than 70 million pieces of information about them available on the internet. Their lives have spilled online, and more Aussie families are realising that a social media ban simply isn't enough.
Journalist and author Madonna King has been speaking with hundreds of kids and parents since the ban was brought in. And what she found is the full scale of our digital dilemma, but also how to bring our kids back into the real world.
For more, Madonna King joins us now live from the Gold Coast. Madonna, good to see you. It's not just about social media, right? It's screens in general. You just have to go anywhere after school. You see every single child walking away from the school, looking at a phone on the bus, etc. They're having a huge impact, of course, on how kids are growing up.
It sure is, Mon. Teachers are seeing children unable to share. They're repackaging lessons in 2 and 3 minute chunks so children can have the attention span. And, you know, we're not talking about instant gratification. You know, that need to absolutely be satisfied now. We're seeing it when kids, the TV is turned off and they have a nuclear tantrum. In primary school, we're seeing such a scourge of anxiety where kids taken out of class to practice breathing burst out crying when they think they have failed breathing. Kids who don't know their times table after reading them once. Choosing really simple subjects in high school because they can't understand the idea of rote learning or practicing. And even in our young adults, when something goes wrong in their life, all of a sudden they cannot cope. And I think we're all being rewired by this, but the impact on our kids, boy, it's just been huge.
Yeah, and Madonna, aside from that, you also looked at how they're interacting with AI and how kids are actually using it. What did you find?
Well, we see headlines about, you know, chatbots and deep fakes, but I asked 300 teens in Australia your last use. And some of them were things like asking a girl to a semi-formal, cheating, doing their homework, even composing emails because they didn't want to think about what to write. How to spend my free time, for example. So they're actually outsourcing their brains. And I think that's something as parents we should really think about. What's the impact of that in a year's time or 2 years' time? Will our children be able to do simple tasks or will they be AIing it rather than Googling it?
All that school stuff's really worrying, but just looking, you know, asking a girl to the school semi-formal, they're those basic human interactions as well. That's an incredible one.
And actually not seeking it out from loved ones or trusted people around them, right, Madonna, and losing that connection. And talk to us about some of the things that we can do, because you've got this sort of amazing toolkit, if you like, of some great advice, particularly on the instant gratification.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I think we need to do activities that take time. And in ScreenWise, I've given, you know, probably 20 examples. But the idea of getting our kids to save rather than spend immediately. I think the idea of bringing back family time. What about, you know, Chicken Wing Wednesday or Taco Tuesday or Supper Sunday, Sunday supper, where we sit across from the table and talk to each other. I think kids said to me they wanted their parents to play computer games with them. So think of how you could engage with your child with the media. And I've even included a boundary chart in ScreenWise where you can stick it on the fridge, work with your child and actually have rules around when you download apps or when you can use social media, for example. I think is a really important factor too.
So, Madonna, your big finding here is it's really the parents that are integral to that pathway back.
Absolutely. You know, they listen to 10% of what we say. They look at 90% of what we do. One kid said to me, you know, my mum's scrolling on Facebook and she's saying me to get off Instagram. And I think they're going to do what we do. So even if you think today, what are things that you might do, and don't reach for your phone and let your child see that and see us role model what we want our children to do.
Madonna, what do you think about this, though? So, of course, it's one thing if you're scrolling on Instagram and then telling them to get off social media. Obviously, the hypocrisy is clear. But, you know, a lot of us parents are running the admin for them at the time. Do you think saying, hey, I'm not doing anything fun right now, I'm actually got a message about your soccer practice or something like that, and actually tell them what we're doing? Because it's different to sitting on a computer where it looks like you're working more.
Yeah, great question, Mon. It's how you do it. So you get a text about their soccer match, just say, look, I'll check that in a moment, so they know they don't have to do it immediately. When you have dinner, put your phone in with their phone in the same drawer. before. And so it's those kind of examples. Of course we have busy lives, of course we use our phones, but it's how and when we do it. And I think to think today, what is the opportunity cost of our children being on screens? What would they be doing at 11 o'clock this morning if they weren't playing a computer game?
Yeah.
Ask them about that and do it with them.
Yep, and you'll find that you're really bad at it if you're anything like me.
Thanks for your time, Madonna. Thank you. Thanks for your
Thank you.
insights.
Yeah, great to chat with you, Madonna. And
Pleasure.
Screen-wise, Take Back Control of Screen Time for Toddlers to Teens by Madonna King. It's in bookstores now.